A week ago, my uncle's family, not biologically related, came over for dinner. He has 2 sons, aged 9 and 13. One of my cousins goes like, "Asha, looks like it's time for him to stay with you." I got confused. My cousin turned towards my uncle and said, "Leave it up to her. She's good at this. Keep him here for 2 weeks." What was the issue? This 9-year-old kid had over 41 games in his mobile phone. Yes, over 41. The whole time he was in our house. His eyes were only on his mobile phone. And when told he'd be left with me, he said, "I will see who will try to take this away from me. I will kill them." He got annoyed and started yelling. He has to play every single game every single day. He never eats home-cooked food. And by that, I mean never. Every time they come over, we have to order food from restaurants for him. A 9-year-old kid who should be eating healthy right now more than ever. My aunt says he does not eat anything else other than junk food and cooked restaurant meals. If that wasn't enough, he did not let his parents stay 1 minute longer than he wanted. In other words, he is very controlling. Their parents should be at home every single day. Apparently he didn't let my aunt stay at her own mother's funeral. And wherever they are, whatever they are doing, they should be there on his call almost immediately. No reasons. They just should be. That day uncle said he'd stay in our house, and that kid said, "No. You're not. Let that glass be. Wear your shoes. Get downstairs. I'll be there. Be downstairs in a minute." All of them just followed him. Uncle did not even finish drinking what he was drinking. When I said none of them would be going home, he said he would go alone. I told him to proceed. Of course, he didn't. Every time it feels like he's the head of the family. He's like a kid version of a controlling adult. It's not only at home, it's the same at school too. My aunt talks about it as something she's proud of. She told me he often threatens his classmates. Yes, often. And a couple of times, she told me he beat other kids. Day to day they are encouraging the kind of behavior he has. They told me he does not have control over his anger. And I felt that. But at age 9, for me, it started in early teens, yet it was so hard to cope with. I felt he needs help. It could be a bigger problem later. And no, his parents are not concerned about how those games will affect him. How his behavior will eventually shape his personality, how his eyes might go bad, etc. It's as if they are not aware of what kind of child they're raising or what problems they are attracting for him by not seeing the bad side. I tried talking to my aunt, but she shrugged it off. My mom said, "It does not matter what he does, he maintains good grades and they're happy. But are grades really more important than him? Upbringing is important. Start accepting the negative instead of ignoring it. Know what's right and what's wrong. Nobody is perfect. Listen to people's advice sometimes. Maybe you do your best, but that does not necessarily mean you're a good parent or the best one. Listening does not hurt. And think about it. At the end of the day, it's your child. It's not going to hurt me if he has extremely bad behavior, bad values and bad habits. Start caring, for real. Make time for your child. And if you truly love them, stop letting them do things that affect them simply because you don't want them to be sad or cry. Surf the internet or seek advice from others. Don't just sit there and think you're the best parent out there. Try to be better than you already are.